Hello, good morning. Welcome to Axiom Flux News with myself, PJ. Today's date's the 10th of February 2015. I'm doing it solo tonight, so I'm going to quickly start my first article. An Indian man has twins in a rare birth. An Indian person who is 95% male has given birth to twins after intensive treatment in what doctors say on Monday was the rarest of rare cases. The 32-year-old had an intersex condition in which she had the physical appearance of a woman but had more than 95% XY chromosomes. Fertility specialist Sunil Jindal told AFP. The woman underwent more than 12 months of hormonal and other medical treatment to develop her infantile uterus to allow her to eventually carry and give birth on Friday to a boy and girl. This is akin to a male delivering twins, said Jindal by phone from Meerut City, some 43 miles northeast of New Delhi. She did not undergo puberty and never menstruated. When we investigated further, we found that she had a very small vagina and an infantile uterus. Jindal said his team of doctors discovered during their research that there had only ever been 5 reported cases of such pregnancies in the world. It's nothing short of a medical miracle. We are really happy that we could pull it off. He said the woman was startled to learn she had the condition, but was determined to undergo the treatment to get pregnant. Even she did not know she had this condition and was flabbergasted when we told her about it. But the husband was very supportive and told her, no matter what, you continue to be my wife, he said. Her husband's sperm was used to fertilize a donor egg, which was then implanted in the woman's now developed uterus. The babies were born through caesarean section, weighing 4.9 pounds and 5.5 pounds each. So that's the first article. The Indian man has twins in a rare birth. My next article is the teen charged after selfie with dead body. The alleged selfie depicted the victim sitting in a chair with a gunshot wound to the face, police in the US say. A US teenager has been charged with murder after authorities say he took a selfie with the dead body of a boy and sent it to a friend on social media. The 16-year-old, named by news reports as Maxwell Marion Morton, is accused of shooting to death Ryan Mangan, 16, at his home in Jeannette, Pennsylvania on the 4th of February. The alleged selfie depicted the victim sitting in a chair with a gunshot wound to the face and male taking the selfie with his face facing the camera with the victim behind him, according to a police affidavit. It was obtained by police after a woman reported that her son had received the photo via Snapchat. The woman also told police that her son had received text messages saying, "I told you I cleaned up the shelves," and Ryan was not the last one. Westmoreland County District Attorney John Peck told the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review that the photo was a key piece of evidence that led investigators to the defendant. The suspect has been charged with criminal homicide, murder in the first degree, and possession of a firearm by a minor. So my next one. Careful what you say. Your Samsung TV might be listening. I think this particular article, which is today's, February the 9th on RT, it did or has been previously released by many people. One of them, Alex Jones, I think that was just over a year ago now. But this article says Samsung has come under fire from privacy campaigners after it emerged the company's new smart TVs are capable of listening to your conversations. Viewers hope to take advantage of the voice activation feature have been warned by Samsung not to disclose personal information because voice recordings can be captured and transmitted to unidentified third parties. Privacy campaigners have compared the TV sets to telescreens, televisions which also act as surveillance cameras in George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984. Electronic Frontier Foundation activist Park Higgins compared Samsung's privacy policy to the famous book in a tweet on Sunday. It has received already 14,000 tweets. Samsung insists it takes consumer privacy seriously, but did not name the third party which translates speech to text. The issue was first highlighted by the Daily Beast, which warned readers not to talk about incriminating matters such as tax evasion and drug use in front of their TV sets. So, hidden away in Samsung's privacy policy is a single sentence which may change the way you behave in front of your TV. Please be aware that if your spoken words include personal or other sensitive information, that information will be among the data captured and transmitted to a third party. The privacy policy goes on to warn, in addition, Samsung may collect and capture voice commands and associated text so that we can provide you with voice recognition features and evaluate and improve the features. The technology is designed to enable viewers to control their TV by using only their voice. Even viewers who do not activate the voice recognition feature are still at risk of being snooped on. As the machine continues to collect data through its microphones, the only way to stop a Samsung Smart TV from eavesdropping on your conversation is to disable voice recognition data collection in the settings menu. Samsung claims it collects transcribed voice data in order to improve the technology's features. An investigation last year by consumer magazine Which found that smart TVs made by LG, Samsung, Sony, Panasonic, and Toshiba track people's viewing habits, something consumers agree to when they accept the TV's terms and conditions. Users who choose not to accept their TV's terms and conditions may end up reverting to a not-so-smart television, while Toshiba and LG block internet access on apps. Samsung reportedly stops customers from using the TV at all. Sony is the only manufacturer which blocks the tracking of television usage without restricting other functions. You can read more. GCHQ mass surveillance, unlawful and breach of human rights court rules is an attached article, and I'd like to say possibly, I'm just speculating here, that this third party could be possibly. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, but they've revealed a lot of information and ways to get around it on certain devices. The only thing they failed to inform us of was the third party. So I'm going to continue go going into this short article here on the Samsung TVs and bring you this video here. Don't appear to have any audio.
Samsung's warning its customers to avoid discussing personal information in front of their new smart TV sets. The warning applies to viewers who control their sets using its voice activation feature. This listens to conversations and may share any details it hears with Samsung or with third parties. Our business and technology correspondent, Zoe Kleinman, says people don't necessarily realize the capabilities of their televisions.
We're at the start of the sort of smart TV takeoff now. You know, there are some analysts saying by 2018, 70% of us are going to have a smart TV in our home.
And just clarify, when you say smart TV, what does it mean exactly? It means
well,
that's voice activated? Or?
Basically internet connected. So okay. A smart TV is something that's connected to the internet. So it gives you much more control over what you can do with your TV. You can literally use it as if you would a browser. You know, you can go online, you can use catch-up TV services, and of course, you can talk to it. Now, you know, it's the ultimate sort of consumer laziness, isn't it? You sit in front of your telly, you say, hello, telly, I want to watch EastEnders, please, and so it starts. But how does it know to listen to your commands? You might be in the middle of talking to your partner about what you want to have for dinner, and suddenly you say, oh, that reminds me, can you find a recipe for spaghetti bolognese? Now, your telly has to be listening to catch that command.
So it can do the spaghetti bolognese too, can it?
So, well, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? It could probably find you the recipe. Yeah. But, you know, the point is that in order for it to suddenly wake up and say, oh, right, now I'm being spoken to, it has to be listening to you all the time. Now, you know, most people, I would find it difficult to sit and talk to my TV for 5 minutes, say, so that it gets the hang of my voice and my tone of command. So rather than do that, Samsung's saying, we're just going to record bits here and there, and then we'll be able to pick up on your voice and we'll understand when you're talking to the telly. Of course, the downside of this is it's going to record who knows what.
So what can it do with who knows what, though? I mean, is the suggestion that it then goes back to a service provider and gets wheeled out at an inopportune moment, or?
So Samsung says that it's using a third party to collate this data and to interpret it and send it back, but it's not selling the data to the third party, but there is someone else involved. Something has to stand in the way of you speaking and the telly knowing what you're saying. We contacted Samsung to ask them for a statement because, of course, the big concern is privacy. What's it doing with this data? So here's what Samsung said to us. Samsung takes consumer privacy very seriously. In all of our smart TVs, any data gathering or their use is carried out with utmost transparency, and we provide options for consumers to opt out of a service. We employ industry standard security safeguards and practices to secure consumers' personal information and prevent unauthorized collection or use. It also says users can easily recognize if the voice recognition feature is activated because there's a microphone icon which appears on the screen. Samsung does not, it says, retain voice data or sell it to third parties.
Right, so when it says you can opt out, what it basically means is just switch it off if you're not using it.
You don't
we have to look at the mic light when we're talking.
Exactly. You don't have to have it on. The TV is not going to pack up because you're not talking to it. But what it's saying is by activating that, it is going to be listening in here and there, and it is.
It's not just Samsung, presumably, is it? I mean, it must be anyone who makes a smart TV or
any gadget. If you look at your smartphone, a lot of the apps that you download, one of the points in the T's and C's will say, we need to be able to listen to you. We need to be able to pick up your voice anytime we want. We want to activate that microphone, and you're agreeing.
That's it. It's all through consent. Consent. So moving on from the spy TV to the space plane. Europe to launch an experimental IxP mission. The European Space Agency is set to test launch the Intermediate Experimental Vehicle, a 16-foot, 2-ton wingless space plane, which could help pave the way for reusable spacecraft. Shaped like a cone to facilitate re-entry, the IxP's mission is to better understand the interaction between environmental pressures and the structural components of the space vehicle. ESA said in a statement it will also test new materials to avoid burning up during re-entry. We'll play this next video here.
Imagine being dropped from an altitude of 400 kilometers, having to re-enter the atmosphere at a speed of 7.5 kilometers per second, while facing temperatures of more than 1600 degrees Celsius. This is the odyssey awaiting IxP, Europe's intermediate experimental vehicle, when it is launched on board of Vega. ESA's technological re-entry demonstrator is as big as a family car, with a cone shape to facilitate re-entry.
The IxP has a lifting body shape, so basically it's different from a capsule. And the peculiarity of this shape is that interacting with the atmosphere while re-enters from space is capable to generate a lift. And so this allows the vehicle to be guided during its re-entry, and this allows to reach a more precise point during the re-entry.
During its 2-hour flight, IxP will try to better understand the interaction between environmental pressures and structural components of the space vehicle, and it will test new materials to avoid burning up during re-entry.
The vehicle is filled up with more than 300 sensors to investigate the critical aerothermodynamic phenomena. Then it integrates advanced thermal protection systems made by ceramic matrix composites as well as ablative systems.
A third important objective of this mission is to understand how to improve guiding the space vehicle through this very tough journey. We need to be able to guide the space vehicle so that it can navigate through the atmosphere with the right angles that will allow the vehicle to withstand the pressures and frictions which occur during re-entry. The knowledge gained by IxP will add to the data provided by its predecessor, the atmospheric re-entry demonstrator launched on the third Ariane 5 flight in 1998. During its mission, the ARD recorded and transmitted to the ground more than 200 critical parameters for analysis of the flight and behavior of onboard equipment. Compared to the simple ARD capsule, IxP's lifting body shape, new materials and advanced in-flight technologies, such as guidance navigation control, increase the scientists' expectations. Mastering re-entry technologies is key for a wide range of applications in future space transportation, including planetary exploration, returning samples back to Earth, and sending astronauts into space. It can also open the doors to the future development of European reusable launcher stages.
Okay. Next article there is UK police force apologises for taking details of Charlie Hebdo readers. Wiltshire force says it has deleted from its system details of 4 people who bought copies of magazine from a news agent. A British police force has apologised after an officer told a news agent to hand over details of customers who purchased copies of the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in the wake of the Paris terror attacks. Wiltshire police confirmed that one of their officers visited a newsagent in the Corsham, Wiltshire area to ask for the names of 4 customers who ordered the commemorative survivors issue of the magazine. The incident came to light when Anne Key, 77, who bought the special issue from the newsagent, wrote a letter to The Guardian to warn people that wearing badges emblazoned with Je suis Charlie may attract police interest. In the letter, which was published on Monday, Key wrote, "Your offer of commemorative badges in support of journalistic freedom, highlighting Je suis Charlie, prompts me to suggest a degree of caution following my experience. Tongue-in-cheek, I asked my helpful newsagents to obtain a copy of the edition of Charlie Hebdo issued after the dreadful massacre in Paris, if indeed a copy was ever available in North Wiltshire." To my surprise, a copy arrived last Wednesday week, and although the standard of content in no way matches that of The Guardian, I will cherish it. However, 2 days later, a member of Her Majesty's Police Service visited said newsagent requesting the names of 4 customers who had purchased Charlie Hebdo, so beware, your badges may attract police interest in your customers. In a statement, Wiltshire Police apologised to the members of the public who may be affected by this and said they had deleted the details from their system. A spokeswoman said, following the terrorism incident in Paris, France on 7th of January 2015, Wiltshire's police undertook an assessment of community tensions across the country. Across the county rather. As part of this work, local sector policing teams were asked to be mindful of business premises, in particular newsagents who may be distributing the Charlie Hebdo magazine, and to consider that these shops may be vulnerable. There were no specific threat nationally and nothing to suggest newsagents in particular would be vulnerable. She continued, a police officer visited a local shop and post office in Corsham to make an assessment of community tensions and, if appropriate, encouraged the newsagent's owner to be vigilant. During the conversation, the officer requested information about subscribers to the Charlie Hebdo magazine. Wiltshire Police would like to apologise to the members of public who may be affected by this. Information relating to this specific incident has been permanently and securely disposed of. Wiltshire Police are confident that the police officer's intention was purely around enhancing public safety and ensuring that the newsagent was advised appropriately. It is understood that the officer involved has been given a word of advice, but will not face disciplinary action. The force said it had received no complaints about the incident. The public should be reassured that Wiltshire's police tasked officers across the county to assess community tensions in the aftermath of the shootings in Paris. It is unfortunate that an officer, no doubt acting with the best of intentions, requested details from a newsagent of customers who had bought the Charlie Hebdo magazine. Article continues to put forth their apologies. Says, speaking to The Guardian on Monday, Keat said it was ridiculous that police officers had asked for her details, but she said she didn't think it was a big deal. I think it was a non-event really. It's nothing particularly exciting, she said. The reason I sent the letter to The Guardian was not so much the police, although that was an element of it. It was that on Saturday you had advertised 2 badges to do with Charlie Hebdo. If the police visit because I bought Charlie Hebdo, what are they going to do if everyone starts buying these badges? Well, let's hope that's not the case, because with the cutbacks, they'd have several busy days to come. Wiltshire Police. There you go. So, the final article, before I finalise and close the Flux news for today, is how YouTube changed the world. In late 2005, when YouTube was just a few months old, one of its co-founders announced that the site's users were consuming the equivalent of an entire Blockbuster store each month. Today, 300 hours of video are uploaded to the site every minute. And Blockbuster, well, kids, Blockbuster was a video rental shop offering films on DVD and VHS. VHS tapes were like giant cassettes. Cassettes were, oh, never mind. The online video behemoth has become the world's 3rd most visited website after Google and Facebook, according to Jawed Karim. He and two of his PayPal colleagues, Chad Hurley and Steve Chen, launched the site after becoming frustrated that they couldn't find footage of the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami and Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl the same year. This high and low ethos is backed into YouTube's culture. It's being lauded for promoting democracy and re-energizing education while being disparaged for its endless cat videos and nasty user comments. What is beyond debate is YouTube's influence, spotted by a far-sighted Google in 2006 when it bought the site for $1.65 billion. Almost anyone can upload almost anything to YouTube for free and be with a chance of reaching its 1 billion monthly users. Whether they're activists, terrorists, politicians or pop stars, or just the proud owner of a mutant giant spider dog, it has changed our world. Politics, interesting stuff here. The 40-year-old MP from Whitney scripts plates into a bin while his wife helps their children get ready for school in their handsome kitchen. Watch out BBC, ITV and Channel 4, where the new competition we're a bit wobbly, but this is one of the ways we want to communicate with people properly, says David Cameron. It is October 2006 and Web Cameron, a new YouTube channel, is born. Goes into quite a lot of stuff here with the Obama 2012 re-election campaign included 30 staff working on YouTube. 47% of Americans believe that they are entitled, with Gordon Brown above that. And also these IS ransoms and things that have been going off. Celebrity Justin Bieber looks into the camera, raises his eyebrows and says, "I was found on YouTube." He narrows his eyes. "I think I was detrimental to my own career." This footage of the teen star's statement in an assault case filed against him by a paparazzo was uploaded to YouTube by fans in March of last year. Quite a lot of stuff on YouTube, is you're quite aware. Video games, this is what does me. PewDiePie, there you go. There he is, PewDiePie. He can get millions and millions and millions of people watching him play computer games at his own. Quite a lot more learning. It's a good place to learn, YouTube. If there's anything you need, it's a reliable source and place to seek answers for certain things. Advertising. It's been used a lot for advertising. And many other things. Interesting article. It's just a shame it's quite in depth. Otherwise, I would have probably given it a shot in reading it here. But it is on the, I think it's the Telegraph. Let me scroll to the top here. I think it's the Telegraph. Yeah, the Telegraph. Quite a lot has happened there. Quite a lot. So that's it, guys, for Flux News for today. Do join us again tomorrow for more coming your way. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day.